Welcome back! I have made another new tutorial on how to rig expressions and such in Live2D and add them to your model. So basically, if you watch any of my streams, you always see me doing like this, right? Or maybe a sad sometimes, or maybe even this, like, oh. But today I decided to add another extra emote so that way I could teach y'all how to add it. So today we're gonna be learning how to add just like a face. So let's get started. Alright, so basically the whole point of this tutorial is to help you get to be more expressive, especially if you're doing either your own rigging or you're doing it as a commission for clients. The first thing you need to know is how to set up a parameter for rigging an expression. And the best way to do it, honestly, is just have a 0 and a 1. Think of it like a computer switch, right? Either it's on or off, right? And you can even add expressions, like when you add your expression, you can add physics to it, you can add all sorts of different, like, you can have a different motion, how it comes in, you can change all of that with the parameter. But basically, I mean, right now I'm just showing off some of my own parameters, but essentially what you can do is, with all of these on and off switches, you can make what you want. So first you want to give your parameter a name, and once you've given it a name, then the ID, you just follow, you know, usual Live2D Cubism ID rules, and you want to make sure that it starts at 0 and ends at 1, and the default is going to be at 0 as well. And basically what that does is it turns it into a light switch scenario. So basically, on is this button, off is this button, and that kind of just keeps it really, really simple. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. So anyways, today is an example. I decided that I had all of these extra little emotes that I had that Suni had given me, but I hadn't rigged them yet. So I just decided to add the little face. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to take just the base form of that emote, because I know I'm not going to be using it for other deformers or anything else, like nothing super fancy. So what I do is I link it to the expression file, and at 0 I set it at 0% opacity, and at 1 it's at 1% opacity. So that way it'll turn on and off real nice. And the next thing I'm doing is, you have to, if you want the eyes to switch out, you have to hide the eyes somehow, right? So what I'm doing essentially is I'm creating a new deformer for the eyes and calling, you know, the face. I don't really have, and is there like a word for that face? I don't know. If there is, tell me in the comments, like, if there's a word for it. But essentially, I'm making a deformer for it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that deformer to the parameter for that face. And at 0, it's going to be normal, but at 1, I'm going to have it super shrunk down. That's how it's going to work. And what I'm doing right now is I'm editing the parameter to better define what I'm doing, and that way I can find it later on in Live2D Cubism Viewer. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to link it, so now you can see, okay, the face appears and disappears with it, but now what are we going to do about the eyes, right? So I'm just going to shrink them. That's the best way I've found to do it, honestly, is just take it and shrink it. So if you want to change out your mouth, like you want to have like a little pouty face, or if you want to change out your eyes to like the little swirlies, just shrink your eyes and hide them somewhere else, right? And I made the mistake, I put it on the wrong side. But basically, you can just take your eyes, hide them somewhere. Just put them in your pocket, or I don't know, hide them. And it'll have them switch out with whatever expression you decide to add, which is pretty cool. So I'm just like hiding them right now underneath my hair. There's all sorts of secrets underneath my hair. I guess my eyes are one of them, but you can never trust a dragon. We always got tricks up our sleeves. Anyways, yep. Get it all nice and hidden. And then you can see it now does that switch really nice, right? So basically, for the next bit of the video, I'm just going to speed through my my process of adding the XY motion as a deformer for those V eyes. I don't know what to call them. I really don't know what to call them. But anyways, yeah, I'm just going to add the XY deformer and speed it up a little bit, and I'm going to stop it at some point so I can teach y'all something else really cool. So I'll be right back. gotten to this point, it's a really cool trick. What you can do is you go to a tool called Reflect Motion. Once you've gotten your parameter selected, and it comes from those triple bars in the top right of the parameter box, and you just slide down, click Reflect Motion, and make sure it's horizontal, and press OK. And essentially what that does is that does the transformation from right to left automatically for that parameter for you. And essentially what I do is there's another trick. You do Control 4, and that auto completes the corners in an XY fashion. Anyways, next what you want to do is you want to drop your file into Cubism Viewer. You'll drop your Mach 3. It looks like that G. You'll find it in the file folder with everything else, right? And then you can jump into Live2D Cubism Viewer, which is the next part. And if you have any emoticons already set up, what you'll need to do is file, import, and add them in. Anytime you change your model, you're going to want to do this. So I have a bunch of them, as y'all can see. And to add a new one, you go to File, Add, Expression, right? And then you open up that little expression folder. And once you've named it, so make sure the file name, if you're someone who's going to be doing a lot of rigs, make sure the file name is specific to the character you're doing the rig for, or else if you have, very happy face, for every character that you do, it's gonna try and make all those files really confusing. So essentially what you can do is once you click on the expression, it gives you the option to turn on your parameters in that bottom left corner. And what it does when you do that is it saves them as a part of the expression file. So you can make them like appear faster or appear slower. But I mean, now you can see whenever I move around, I got my face on. And let's say maybe I want to have my mouth open too, and sometimes keeping the mouth open works in some programs and sometimes it doesn't, but at least it looks cool here. Anyways, one of the other most important steps you're going to need to do after you've selected all of your parameters that you really like and you just want to add to the expression, and you can, by the way, you can use multiple parameters for multiple expressions. You can do that. So you can, if you want to have teary eyes on sad and happy, you can. That's the thing. But basically, the most important thing is remember to hit Control S, as well as File, Export, and make sure you export your parameters too, and just all expression motion. Yeah, that'll really, and make sure you save it in that same folder where everything else related to your model is saved, or else the tracking programs won't find it. Yep, make sure to Control S, save your JSON as well, and that's pretty much it. So thank y'all so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.